We probably can. I mean, I'll tell you if it
Yeah.
is bad. Hey, everybody. We're getting ready for the live show tonight. So just hang out for a second. I got to sneeze. Oh, as soon as I hit the button. Why am I still watching baseball?
31 minutes, 53 seconds. Sorry. You can probably hear that.
I'm ready. Do I got my shirt on? Yes. Oh, wait. I need to get the phone, the computer ready. The phone computer. I can do a practice run for the setup for Give Kids World too.
What do you call the do you call the podcast like 6 or do you put 6.0? Like what do you normally call it? Just the number? Yeah.
I wouldn't put a point out. Hang on, I'm gonna grab a soda real quick for the later. All the hummingbirds gonna be in my garage. Oh, I think I just saw one outside. Nope. Nope. Maybe. Nope. This is my reflection in the glass. Hey, everybody, getting ready to have the live call-in show tonight. So let's talk Disney with Scotty G and Mike. Oh, I should probably get the recording software up. And, oh, pop the comments up. Don's here. I will definitely take care of your friend there, Don. Thank you so much. Promise you that. All Hello, right. Andrea down in Florida.
Trying to do an upload. We'll see what happens at the end of the show.
All right. Rhonda Lee. Hello up in Nova Scotia. All right. We shall get started in just a second.
Is there news? Like what were we just talking about? Whatever.
I mean, I thought we'd talk about hang on. Don's headed off shortly to see a Jeddah. I know what that is.
I chat that.
What could that be?
It's not Barbie movie. I can tell you that.
I know.
That's where my girls are right now.
Indiana Jones. Has to be right.
And the Temple of Doom? No.
Diamond of Destiny.
I can't remember what the new Indiana Jones is. That sounds right.
Isle of Destiny, I think it is.
That sounds good.
I heard him talking about it on a podcast this morning.
There's Michael, sailed with us on the podcast cruise.
Yes. One of the winners of the scavenger.
That was a lot of fun, man. Like, a couple of people from the cruise texted me this week, and I was like, dang, I wish we were back on that ship.
I know. Tell me about it. I looked at my countdown for my next cruise today, 348 days.
Well, doing these like videos and photos. And like,
yeah. I want to be on your ship so bad. 348 days. I'll look this morning.
That's funny.
Hello to Alan out in Anaheim.
So like we were on the east side of the state for a little bit yesterday, and I-75, like our big freeway, is just like torn up, you know. So like I was like, I don't want to deal with that on the way home. So I put home in maps, and there was like a 20-mile detour to avoid that, but it was like the same amount of time to go home. So I'm like, I'm just doing that. I don't care if it's the same amount of time and it's longer. At least the car is moving. That's always my thing. Like I hate being like stopped on the freeway.
Yeah, same.
So we went through like Bloomfield Hills, you know, these like nice, really nice areas, you know, and then like there's this house that I swear it looks like a castle. I mean, it is just humongous. I mean, it's like the biggest plot of land. It's on this lake. We're like, holy cow, that is a huge house. Like, who the heck is building that? And your phone listens to you, right? So we get home. Later that night, Liz has an article on USA Today about the person building that house.
Is it somebody we know? Like, is it somebody?
It's someone I know for sure. It's Matt Ishaba, who's a Spartan alum. So he was on the last championship team. He's the owner of the Phoenix Suns now.
Oh, I was gonna say,
and he,
an athlete or something.
He owns like this. Well, he wasn't an athlete. Like he was on the basketball team.
Yeah.
Didn't go far, but he created his own business. He's got this huge mortgage company. He's got like $5 billion or whatever. But anyway, it's his house that he's building, and it's like this crazy like amusement park. Like he's got batting cages. like go-karts and like swimming pool. Like he's got it all. It's kind of funny. It's a 60,000 square foot lot.
Oh, man. He's living his dream.
But it ended up being someone famous. So
he's like, someday I'm gonna have batting cages. That's what I always said. Because I mean, the people across the street, they have batting cages in their backyard. But the guy, he's one of the Howell baseball coaches, but he was a minor league baseball player, and so all day there's that ping from the aluminum bats and the
bing. Yeah.
But I mean, they're good baseball players.
When you hit that sweet spot, man, it feels good.
It's all day though. Ding ding. They got. I think they might even have one in their basement.
That's funny.
All right, let's do this. We're gonna need calls before like quarter till the end of the show. All right, here we go.
That's always what happens.
It is what happens. You're a Muppet travel by map. It's probably a Muppet movie reference.
Must be.
All right, that's good. Here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP open line for Sunday night, July 23rd, 2023. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com. And, of course, one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Hey, how you doing? Hope you had a great weekend. We are here for the next hour taking your calls at 407-413-9395. 407-413-9395. This is a show that is turned over to you, where if you want to come on the podcast, you don't have to wait 9 months to get on here like you do on a Monday sometimes. You can be on in the next 10 minutes if you like to talk about Disney. We have some topics we want to talk to you about, but if you want to give us a mini trip report, you've been down to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, sailed with Cruise Line, even toured with Adventures by Disney, give us a yell. Let's talk about it for a few minutes. Get it out there for our audience. But today, I got to talk with my bud who's up in Michigan, who's been working hard behind the scenes for a treat for our entire audience here shortly. Your friend and mine, hashtag Scotty G. What's up, Scott?
Happy Sunday, Mike. And you're talking about the 9-month waiting list to do the trip report. And I got to say, like, I've been catching up on some podcasts. I go in these ruts where like I download them. Don't worry, Mike, I'm downloading them.
That's good.
But I'm on a lot of these, so I don't listen to every single one. Like Same. If I'm on it, I download it, I skip it, move on to the next one. But never on a Monday though, right? Because those are the trip reports. And I gotta say, I love listening to those episodes. I love hearing a lot of it's just a lot of similars, right? We're all like big Walt Disney fans. We go to these resorts, but I love hearing like people just like how they vacation a little different than me. They talk about a restaurant that maybe I never been to before or whatever. So I just got to tell you, I love the trip reports. Those are some of my favorite episodes.
Same. And just a spoiler report for tomorrow's show, Mondays, we got LSU fans. GEAUX Tigers. I know you're not a big SEC guy.
I know all about the Go Tigers and down there.
Yeah.
Is this a spring break trip or a Mardi Gras trip? Because that's where I swear every time I'm down there at that time, everything's purple.
I agree. And I think that there should always be every Mardi Gras. There should just be a day where there's just a parade of purple and gold and it's just LSU fans that nobody else can understand what they're saying. Right. It's like led by Ed Ogeron. And he's like, and like nobody understands what he's saying unless you're from the state of Louisiana. Then like they're all like following him because they understand him. I don't get him.
Well, then you got Brian Kelly who tries to act Southern.
Yes, he tries to do the dance and then talk like that, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Once you come from Notre Dame, it really doesn't work. But there we go. We got our sports in. But yeah, so but we talk. He went to Sci-Fi. Everybody goes to Sci-Fi, but me. And I even brought up, Scott, that you made a Sci-Fi ADR for us post cruise. But because of Paige and how we had to get her over to the studios and she wanted to go, she was only there one day.
Yeah.
Again, I have not seen the inside of that restaurant in the last 30 nights.
You had your chance.
I know.
It would have been weird to go back to the studios the next day because you guys didn't have hopper. You didn't have hoppers.
We did not. And we only have 4 days, and so
you wouldn't want to do 2 full days at the studios, especially after the day you had. So maybe next time.
Yeah,
maybe over a marathon. I can get you there. Would you like to do that over the marathon week?
Please. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, problem is when I go there, I always get my buffalo chicken sandwich for one of the meals, and so. But I mean, that
is the dilemma, though. Like when there's when you have a hot item that you really like at a park, like you really want to diverse, your food options, but you can't because you're just tied to that one thing. But it's something I want to kind of bring a couple things I want to bring to the table tonight to get some calls. We're going to need some calls because we want to hear other voices besides ours. You've heard our voices a lot over the past couple of weeks. It's been a lot of Mike and Scott because Ricky has been out. She's actually at Walt Disney World right now. Oh, you know what? We need to send a shout out. Yes, we need to send a shout out to Ricky.
how did we get this far into the show? Because she's right now. Let me just tell you right now. I just checked. She is on the People Mover as we speak right now. Not that I'm stalking her, but she is actually on the People Mover right now. She's celebrating a big one today as we're recording. A big birthday, Scott. You're going to be doing the same here shortly.
You're going to be doing not the same birthday, but a big one too. Why is everyone born in the 3? Like, why is everyone's birthday or end in 3? It seems like.
I don't know, but yeah, happy birthday to Ricky, who's celebrating one of the birthdays.
I think we can say what it is. I think we can say.
Yeah, we can. Everybody can figure it out. She's a big 40 today.
She's 40.
Yeah.
Her age starts with a 4 now. Congratulations, Ricky. You beat me by a couple months.
That's right. So give her a shout out on the social media. She'll get a huge kick out of that. So at Ricky Nibs, Twitter.
She's not responding. She must be like getting blown up with messages because I sent her a thing like first thing. I was one of the first people up today, and I sent her a message, and I never heard back. So.
Same. And that's unlike Ricky, but she's moving. Like I've looked because we have her on Find My Friends, and she's. Her phone's moving on the People.
So I have to admit, I stalked her too because I was concerned that I didn't get a text back because some inside the baseball, as you like to say, Mike, like Ricky responds pretty much instantly to anything you send her. And I was just surprised that I didn't see anything from her. So hopefully she's doing okay. But as Mike said, she is moving. The phone is moving. So I got to assume she's doing good.
Oh, update.
We have to get a call from her on the show, actually.
We could actually call her because update right now. She is leaving the Magic Kingdom as we speak. And she's by the popcorn cart going under the train station.
Dude, we should call her and like sing happy birthday to her, though. I'm just saying. If it's a slow show, we should definitely call her. Like you called me when I was on Big Thunder that one time.
We may have to give her a ring. Yeah, we may have to do that. She might be mad. We might have to be careful. I might keep my finger by the button.
I know Ricky. I think she'd get a kick out of it. Let's be real. I think
we might have to. We got a call though. So Saved by the Bell. I do have something I want to talk about though, but let's get Vero Mike in here. Speaking of the state of Florida. Hey Mike, what's going on? Happy Sunday.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing, Scotty G and Mike?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Awesome. I've been loving hearing about your cruise on the podcast cruise, and we're going to be doing the Wish in December.
Nice.
So we're pretty excited about that. So it's nice.
Is that one of the Christmas sailings? Because I know they have special sailings. Is that one of the special ones?
It's the Christmas cruise.
Yeah.
Nice. You'll be probably sailing with Santa.
Yeah, I think so. That would be awesome.
As long as you've been good, Mike. That's the key. As long as you've been good.
Oh, I've been really good, actually, unfortunately.
I'd be 50-50 but at this point. I got a little time to save the year, I think.
Yeah. I do have a couple of questions about the Wish. We've done one other Disney cruise. We did the Dream a few years ago, and it was for 3 days. I was wondering if they have like a comprehensive tour of the Wish, so somewhere we can go like in the engine room or, in the parts where, you normally wouldn't go.
So they do have a walking tour that I believe was like, it's weird too to me. Like it's 18 and up. Like I don't understand why my 16-year-old daughter, almost 16-year-old daughter couldn't do it, but it's 18 and up walking tour. Now I will say, and we might have some friends in the chat that did it. I unfortunately did not do it, but I don't believe you get behind the scenes like the engine, but you do get to see some cool spots and you learn a lot about the art and like some of the decisions made and like how they created like this space and whatnot. From what I heard from the people that did it, they loved it. It was really awesome.
By the way, so Jody is in the live chat. She did it. Maybe she can give us a yell here after your call, Mike, because she likes to call in and if she's available tonight. But I will say from Love Boat episodes, you never want to go in the engine room. Bad stuff happens. One time Mel Sharples was in, Vic Tayback was in the engine room. You don't want to go there. It's bad news. So I'm just saying that'd be cool though, because I love the mechanic. You know how cool that would be to see. I don't even know if you get to go. Like, I'd love to go like in the galley. I'd love to see the logistics of the ship, like how things happen.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And one other question: when it comes to gratuities on the ship, is it smarter to pay it beforehand or do it afterwards? I don't know how you guys did that.
So I have thoughts on that because again, you can prepay your gratuities, or what happens is if you don't pay them, you're still paying them. And the way it works is if you don't pay them ahead of time, they hit your onboard account the first night of the cruise. So here's the only difference. When do you want that to hit your credit card statement? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you could prepay them, 2 months before the cruise, and then it'll be on that credit card statement. or it'll just be lumped in as like, with your drinks during the cruise and your merchandise you buy on the ship. That's the only difference. It's going to be the same price. It's just when it's going to hit your statement. Really, that's the only difference.
And then you can always leave extra, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And
so,
they would appreciate that.
So, Mike, I always bring some cash because I say this a lot. The stateroom host is one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my life. And I always bring a lot of extra for them because they're a magician in that room. They do things, they find areas that I just don't know how they pick up that room. So I always make sure I have some extra cash for them, and I just put it in the envelope with the perforated like paper that they give you ahead of time. And then like if my head server team is good, my serving team is good, I'll have a little extra for them. Sometimes they drop the ball, so I just kind of leave it as it is, to be honest. Like this last cruise, it was just like an average team. So definitely want them to have the gratuity. They're still hardworking and everything like that, but I didn't give them a whole lot of extra. But but I do like to bring the cash just for the extra tips because these people work really hard.
I totally agree. Because I mean, they're this like our stateroom host. He was like a wizard, like a magician. I mean, just everything was awesome. I mean, just you hardly ever saw him, but when you saw him, he was always just so eager and happy to see you. And everything in the stateroom was perfect. I mean, he wrapped our cables. I mean, for two teenage, a 26-year-old, my daughter that's 26 and my 15-year-old daughter, their cables are a mess. I'm always getting on them about, oh my gosh, could you wrap a cable? He had little ties. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty for 4 days. I'm sure they're a wreck right now again, but he did something I couldn't do in years. It was amazing.
We do have an answer on the walking tour too, Mike, if you want to hear it.
What's that?
So we do have an answer on the walking tour. So Jody, this is as of our cruise, so you never know. Something could change by the time your sailing happens in December. But there is no engine room on the tour. But Jody was the person I was talking about. I know her and her husband Tim absolutely loved the walking tour. And apparently kids could do it. Teenagers can, just not the little ones. So that's our inside information from Jody.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're excited. And I'll let you go, but one more thing. We're planning the trip for one night, August 9th. We're not quite sure where we're staying yet, but we want to be there on the 10th and see Hatbox Ghost. So I'm excited about that.
That'll be sweet. Man, that's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
That's early for Halloween, but I guess it's not for Disney. I mean, I saw a Halloween shirt when I was down there for the cruise, and that was 3 weeks ago. It's crazy. I saw it at the studios.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, hey.
And you love the weather. You love the weather right now. We're getting a huge thunder and lightning storm coming through East Central Florida right now. So
I love that. We're actually about to get one right here outside my window. I keep peeking out there because I just ran outside, grabbed all the cushions off of our deck furniture, and then knocked over the hummingbird juice. And so it's a big mess. My wife hasn't got home to discover it yet. She'll be home any minute, probably busting through the door. Like what? Because when you spill hummingbird juice, it's bright red. And so I tried to clean it up real fast, but now it kind of looks like a murder scene in our garage because I had to do this all on her. So she will have no idea what happened, but yeah, so she'll wonder if somebody got first. I'd like to. I wish I had a camera out there because hopefully when she drives in, she might think that I got murdered or something because she's just going to pull up and see into the garage. There's like red everywhere where I spilled the hummingbird juice, and maybe she'll have a little empathy and like come flying in here to make sure I'm still with us. But we'll find out.
But Vero, Mike, real quick. So I got to get out to Vero Beach. As soon as my DVC points replenish, because I'm using them all for Alani, I got to get out to Vero Beach. That is a bucket list item for me. I can't wait to get out there someday.
The beaches are beautiful. You'll love it. You got to come into town too, because there's a lot to do. Some great restaurants in town.
Awesome.
Great bars, restaurants. You'd love it.
All right. We'll see you there sometime soon.
And a lot of the Dodgers are in town right now. They're doing a thing for Jackie Robinson.
Oh,
so I met Eric Davis. He was on second base. He scored the run when Kirk Gibson hit the home run in '88. I was talking to him the other day.
Eric Davis,
like Eric Davis, like the Red, like a former Red too. I think
44.
No, sorry, Mike Davis, not
Mike Davis.
I didn't know he played for the.
I was like, was Eric Davis a Dodger? I can't remember.
I was like, I hit a rookie card.
Awesome.
No, Mike Davis. Yeah, he played for the A's and the Dodgers. Really nice guy. There's a lot of guys in town for the Jackie Robinson tribute right now.
That's very cool.
Super cool. All right, well, Mike, hey, thanks for kicking things off. We appreciate it, buddy. You have a great week.
Best show, guys. Thank you. Take care.
Take care, buddy.
Take care, Mike.
All right, see ya. That's good. He'll be on. He's sailing on Christmas. How cool would that be? To wake up.
I would love to do that. I've always wanted to do one of those specialty cruises. I mean, the Be Our Guest podcast cruise is a very special. I mean, that's like once every 2 years you can do that. Like not everyone can say they've done that. The Christmas one, the Halloween, the Star Wars, the Marvel. I would love to do one of those specialty ones for sure.
All right, Alan's got a question. Our good friend out in Anaheim, who is perfect Walt Disney Marathon. Actually, all marathons, because he ran one at Disneyland. If special nights like Oogie Boogie are sold out, is there any waiting list or standby options? I don't think there are. And that is such. Here's my thing with that. Let me just get. Where's my soapbox? I'll stand on my iPhone. Little pretend soapbox. Why can't Disney figure this stuff out? How to sell hard ticket events? Like seriously, I wasn't even going for them, but I feel bad for people. Like they tried. Okay, we can't figure this out. Let's just pause this for a week. And then let's try it again. Nope. Still can't figure it out. But then they did sell them. Some people found like hacks to get around it, which that kind of stuff drives me nuts. Because then if you're playing by the rules and waiting it out, you're getting bamboozled because people are finding some kind of
good choice of word. I like the bamboozle word.
I'm trying to be nice. It's a family show.
Yeah, I like it
because people do that on Run Disney sometimes too. Like I waited out because it says don't refresh your browser, so I play by the rules, and I only have like 1 or 2 windows open. Some people go in like NORAD with like 52 browsers, and I don't have that many. You know what I'm saying? I only have like an iPad and a couple of computers. You know, it's just don't get me started. But his second question: what are the best times of the year to go to Walt Disney World least crowded? I like to go early May. I like to go February outside of Princess and President's Week because you want to get there before spring break. January outside of Martin Luther King weekend and Marathon weekend.
Yeah, I would say like September, maybe like right when school starts back up, like that last week of August, maybe like right before Labor Day or like right after Labor Day, I think is also a pretty good time to go.
That's a good time.
Isn't that when like wine and dine or like food and wine used to start? Like now, like starts like in July. It's crazy.
Because we used to do that Epic October thing for like 4 or 5 years in a row. And what it was, we always went the last week of September. And so it was the weekend that they had the Tower of Terror 10 miler. And I want to say it was the last weekend of September, but that Thursday they would have a preview for Wine and Dine. And then Friday, Wine and Dine would start. We'd always meet at Epcot on that Thursday, and you could go around to all the booths. And it was kind of like a preview day. It wasn't really officially open. And you get all the food, all the drinks without the crowds. And then the race weekend was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a great weekend. Oh my gosh. But yeah, now they've kind of screwed that up.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Lonnie, who's going on the fantasy in 60 days. I'll be on the fantasy in 348. So keep it in good shape.
I'd rather be on Lonnie's itinerary right now, Mike. 60 days. Let's go.
Tell me about it, man. 60 days. All right. So here's another question I have for folks. Yes, Eric Davis of the Reds. By the way, Jody, my dad's friend used to pitch for the Reds, John Denny. That's who he retired from. So question that everybody's been talking about online, at least I've heard it mentioned on other shows that I listen to. The crowds at Walt Disney World this summer, they say they're soft. And we were just there, and a lot of us were just there. Jody was there. Michael, I think, was there for a little bit. Some folks are in the live chat. What's your take? I think I saw you mention this. Actually, you're talking to somebody on Twitter about this. And I agree with your take. I think prior to the cruise, Walt Disney World did feel a little bit empty. Not empty, but it felt a little not crowded. But then when we got back from the cruise, which was on July 7th, it did feel normal summer busy. It felt busier. That's how I felt. But I mean, if you read stuff that's being published in mainstream media, or if you hear some podcasts, people are doing, you would think Walt Disney World was a ghost town, and it is not that.
It's not. And I will say, like, I think I've said this pretty often on the podcast that I think summer is like a slow time, to be honest. It's so hot, right? And from someone like me that lives in Michigan, like, I rather enjoy my summer in Michigan where I have the lakes, you know, the climate is better than like the 110 degrees and the high humidity. The reason I go down there is just because of summer break, you know, and the podcast cruise this summer. But yeah, leading up though to the cruise, like the 2 days I did in the parks, like they were like really empty, like compared to like any other time. Like it just felt slow. I bought Genie Plus for Animal Kingdom. I didn't even need it. Like I was like, dang, why did I buy this today? And I know our friend Jody, she was at Magic Kingdom one night when I was like at Narcoossee's, and she was like, you should hop over here. The park is completely empty. This is nuts. So there was some downtime there, but like, as you were just saying, when we got back, it just felt normal kind of after the cruise. Like you were at the studios that one day, like granted, you did everything, but you were in the park all day, so it was a lot of work for you to do that. But I think it's just clickbait kind of, like, oh, let's stir some headlines. Like Walt Disney World isn't doing that great. I think the crowds are pretty busy.
But what I'm hearing, and Mike, Vera Mike here in the live chat is mentioning the feel like temperature in Central Florida, 114 degrees, and he says, but I'm willing to bet the pools are jam packed. But here's the thing. Like people are saying, it was irrationally hot. We have a call coming in, so we grab it. But I guarantee you it was hot 5 years ago. It was hot 10 years ago in July. I mean, I just don't, I can't buy that argument of it's down because it was hot. It's always hot in July in Florida. So you can't do apples to apples. And there's reservations that we didn't have. So it's hard to do apples to apples. But let's get our next call. Maybe they want to talk about it. Hey, who's joining us? Thanks for calling in.
Hi, Mike. It's Malcolm from the UK.
Hey, so good to talk to you, buddy. Thanks for calling in. Good evening or good morning.
Yeah, good. I just laugh when I saw someone said there's so many days from going to the fancy. We're T minus 32, as you probably know.
I don't even know what that means, but
T minus 32. That's coming up.
32 days to go.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about your temperature. 32 would be like smoking hot, right? That'd be boiling.
Yeah,
Celsius?
It's not that good weather in the UK at the moment.
Okay.
But no, we fly out on the 2nd of August to Los Angeles, then doing Anaheim, then San Francisco, and then we eventually get back to Florida, and then back on the fancy. So,
man, that is a heck of a trip.
Malcolm, you've been on the fantasy before, right? If I recall, like maybe last year.
And we did a similar trip last year, but we've never done the West Coast yet. So this is the first time. So yeah, we was away 4 weeks last year, so we're doing 4 weeks again this year.
You're gonna have a good time.
Looking forward to it.
Oh man, you're in that time where you just once you get that close, it's hard to focus on anything. Like right now, I still have a full year till we go again, so it's pie in the sky at this point. But you're in the zone.
I've had all the girls obviously doing that last minute decisions what they want to wear and take and things like that, and I said we've got to get it done this week. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We've obviously never flown on that side before, so yeah, looking forward to the cruise again. One day we will catch up with you guys and go that day, but obviously with one child still at school, it's awkward. So
yeah, I hear you. It's we'd love to do that though. So let me ask you this though: what is your favorite thing about cruising? Like, what are you looking forward to the most about being back on the ship?
Well, funny, my wife Michelle used to work for P&O Cruises. She was a librarian at P&O Cruises, and I thought years ago it was for people of older ages, without being rude. And so it wasn't something we was interested in really at all. But now doing the original Dream back in 2014, which you very kindly helped me with, which was 4 days was too short for us, far too short. That's why we went back on the fancy, and we're doing the fancy again this time. But obviously we did Eastern Caribbean last time, now Western Caribbean. It's just so much to do, relaxation, food, meeting friends that we met from the last cruise. We met a load of friends last year, which they're also coming out with us again this year as well. But it's just so much to do. But it's funny, when I came back last time, I spoke to some friends. They went, we went on Disney Cruise Line. They went, oh, I bet it's all characters and all that. So I said, you can make what you want of it. But I said, but the service is impeccable. You cannot fault the service at all. So that's what we love about it. It's great fun. All the family love it. We can all do separate things during the day if we want to, or we can do group activities. Spent far too much money on bingo last time, without a doubt. Too much money.
I kept meaning to play bingo on our last cruise, and I never got in there because the jackpot, right?
I spent a fortune last time, absolute fortune, and didn't.
I'll tell you, the lines for bingo are longer than like the Aqua Mouse or Aqueduct, man. Like that's where like all the people are.
Then on the last night, someone won $11,000 on the last night, which was amazing, and a very humble guy, which I was very, very pleased for him. He was so. But no, as you know, you've been on it, but there's so much things to do out there. And the dining is so fantastic. You can, if you want to go to breakfast at Cabanas, or you can go to one of the proper restaurants. You can play around with it, or everybody says they thought it was relaxation. It is relaxation, but there is so much to do if you want to do it. But if you want to relax, and we're very lucky. Last year we got one of those extended verandas, a massive veranda.
I love those.
If you remember right. But this year we've actually got a larger one than we had the previous time. So it's about 3 times the width and 2 times the length. No, but it must be about 3 times the length. It's massive. So, but it was no extra cost, so that was worth doing that. But no, thank you, Mike, for helping us out. You helped us out tremendously. So
I call that that's not a veranda, that's called a dance floor, is what that is.
Malcolm, can I ask you a question about the logistics like coming from the UK? So I heard you say you're flying in LAX, maybe going to do some Anaheim touring out there. And then, so how many days are you there? And then you just fly to Florida from there, I'm guessing?
So I hate talking about it because I feel like I'm bragging. I don't mean to do that. But
No.
So we're flying from London Heathrow to LA, which is about, they said it's 11-hour, 15 flight. It's about 10.5 hours. So it's only about an hour longer than Florida. So we're going LA, we're staying overnight at the airport for one night, because originally we was landing at 9 o'clock in the evening. Then we changed our flight with Virgin Atlantic to the morning flight, which was a better deal for us. So staying one night in LA airport. Then we're going to Los Feliz in Los Angeles. We've rented a Airbnb for 4 nights. Lovely Airbnb. And then we're driving up to Anaheim, and we stayed at the Hojo there. We're dropping the car off. We're dumping the car completely. 4 nights at Disney. We've never done California. We've done Paris. We've done Florida. But we've never done this one before.
Oh,
and then
I'm so excited for you. Your family's gonna love it.
I can't wait to hear what you think about Disneyland, because I'm telling you what, man, I fell in love with that place. It is so.
I'm coming to the Books of Airfare now just to meet you and the fam and just see you guys out there.
I love it. It is so great.
And then going back to LA, flying up to San Francisco to Alcatraz, Disney Family Museum, touring some bits of San Francisco. Then fly back to via Atlanta, wait till Ricky as I go by.
Yeah.
And then we're staying 2 nights in Old Key West. And then we're doing 7 nights at the house, which we stayed at last year. We found a fantastic house in Windsor Hills, which is a big villa, so cheap. And then we're then driving down to Port Canaveral, staying at the Residence Inn in Port Canaveral. Yeah. Then 7 nights on the cruise, and then we go back to Magic Kingdom on the very last day. Meet up with some friends. We're meeting from Southampton, George, our friends from Southampton, and then we go home that evening. And that's it. So then my poor daughter, Katie, she's got to go back to school. We fly back on the Sunday morning. She's got to go back to school on the Monday. So that's going to be a hard one for her, but she's done it before. So.
But by the time you guys go home, you're going to lose your accent. You're going to have an American accent. You're going to be here so long.
I know. It's really, I love it when we go there, because so many people say to me, "Can you say that again, please?" And you think, why? And they say, "Oh, we just love your accent." And I love the American accent. You know, obviously the different sort of versions of the accent. But it's amazing how many people say to us, "Can you say that word again, please?" It's so funny, because we obviously don't realise we got an accent. But
I love it.
Funny. It's very good.
I love that California trip too, like going to San Francisco and Alcatraz. That's something like I've always wanted to do myself. So excited to follow along and hear about your adventures, because this is going to be one heck of a trip.
Yeah, I'll have to do a trip report when I come back, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have to hook up and get you the express pass, because I want to hear about. We don't get many trip reports where we can talk about a cruise, Disneyland, and The Rock. You've obviously seen the movie The Rock with Sean Connery, right? If not, you got to make
a long time. I think it was 1996. I remember that when that film came out.
You got to watch that before you leave on this vacation. This is homework. I mean, you need to get all the family. You need Sean. Who's that guy the guy that's in all the movies? Not Sean Connery, but the other guy with the hair. He's in Con Air. The main guy. What's his name? He's always there. Everybody makes fun of him. Nicolas Cage. Yeah. Welcome to The Rock. You gotta watch that. You gotta go to Alcatraz.
I'm just amazed that Mike is like dropping movie trivia. Like this is like a rare thing right here.
I haven't seen many movies, but I've seen that one like 50 times because it was always on free cable.
I remember the Clint Eastwood when he escaped from Alcatraz. That film years ago. I remember
the Clint Eastwood movie. That's the one I know.
That's a good one where they made the dummy, right?
Yeah, the paper mask.
It wasn't like the Birdman of Alcatraz or something, right?
Here's a question for you, okay? Because we are very naive to Disneyland, California. You went there recently. What is your best tip? Where, if you said a restaurant to go to, where would you recommend to go to?
Oh man, so mine is Blue Bayou. I'm telling you, I whatever you got to do. I mean, other than break the law, you got to go to Blue Bayou, because I am telling you, I got to go, and it was because Scott Scott arranged all this. He's the travel agent to the travel agent. I'm just telling you, that's like,
Yeah.
it's like he hooked us up, and it was our last day. And we just, I mean, I was just floating because Disneyland was that special to me. Like, I wasn't expecting to like it that much. And everything we did was just amazing. And the weather was great. That helped. But it was just, everything we did was so good. And to wrap up in a place that you're inside Pirates, I love Monte Cristos for one thing. I like them from this chain we have here in America called Cheddar's. Like they have Monte Cristos.
Oh, I've heard of that.
I was there today, actually. Mike.
You lucky dog, because we don't have them where I live, so I got to only get them when I'm out of town. So anyway, I love these things. Where I was like, I'm eating a Monte Cristo sandwich and drinking a hurricane inside of Pirates, and I was there with my girls and with Scott's family. I'm like, this doesn't get it. I'm at Disneyland. This does not get any better. It was the best day ever. So that's the one thing. It was such a uniquely Disney experience. It was so cool.
That's good.
So what about you, Scott?
Well, I was going to tell Malcolm, like, I don't approve of this, but people go nuts for this, especially Southern Californians. People that love to come to California. I know you're going to have a car, but I don't know if you want an American basic cheeseburger or a burger. I would say go to In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, so
good. I don't know if you've heard of it, Malcolm, but people like love it. So that would be a very American thing to do if you want to check it out when you're in Southern California.
My daughter Olivia is desperate to go there. That's the place she wants to go. And there's one, I think, LA Airport, which is about a 10-minute walk. So I think as we get there in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's a great place to see the flights coming in too.
Yeah, just outside the park. So
my dad goes there twice every time because my dad flies into LAX to go to the Rams games because he lives here in St. Louis. My dad is a basic food guy. He goes to In-N-Out twice every time he goes to LA. That's how good it is.
Wow, that's a good recommendation.
It's good.
It's quite interesting because obviously we've got Disneyland Paris, quite close to us. And when I look at this in California, it's very similar place. Like, when you have Small World that's outside, where obviously Small World and Walt Disney World is inside, and things are very, very similar there. It's not 100% correct, but it's very, very similar. You can tell, obviously, some of the designers, like Tom Baxter, obviously must have had the ideas from California to put into Paris, which he worked on as well.
So Malcolm, I've actually been researching this a little bit because we're maybe thinking a spring break Gardner trip next year, and I've made the same observations from from going to Disneyland several times to looking at Disneyland Paris. Like, wow, I see a lot of similarities here. So I might have to pick your brain if that actually happens.
So are you going out there next year, then, Scotty, or
possibly? Like, we haven't booked anything yet, but we've been heavily talking about it.
Well, have a chat with me because I know a fantastic hotel which is not in Disney, which is a mile away with a special free shuttle. It's a 4-star hotel, absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't stay in a Disney hotel, Disneyland Paris.
I will.
We have a phrase. We have a phrase. The only problem with Disneyland Paris is the French. It's
I love it.
We stayed there 2 or 3 times. A hotel was about a mile away, and it's a free Mercedes shuttle service back and forwards. But talk to me about it.
I will. Absolutely will. That's awesome.
Look, guys, I'm going to sign off because obviously you've got other people to listen to, and I've got to get up at 5 o'clock English time in the morning to sign on to confirm my bookings for our cruise to get our port arrival time. So I'm going to be up early in the morning. So
wishing you 11:15 a.m. port arrival time or whatever the earliest is you can get, Malcolm.
It's quite nice. We're staying at the hotel local in the that night before anyway, which is good. But we just want to get on the ship as early as possible. So
we all
say that with the 7-night cruise, though, it's not as
yeah, we all fret about that. You know what? It doesn't matter. I worried about that forever, and I'm platinum. And we had a shuttle. All of us rode together over in this van, and we didn't even get there until
the last people on the ship. I think.
I worried about that forever. Then we got there 2 hours after my port arrival time. Why did I even sweat it? Who cared? We got on when we got on.
It's still nice to hit that that top level though, for sure. But good luck with that, Malcolm.
I just need a Mickey bar. That's what I need.
Yes, send one this way.
Will do. Look, lovely to speak to you guys.
Hey, it's been too long, and you take care. Tell the family we said hello.
Will do.
All right, take care, Malcolm.
Love to all the family.
All right, same. All right, bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.
So good hearing from Malcolm over the UK.
Dude, I love this trip though. LAX, San Francisco.
Dude,
I was waiting for him to say like Las Vegas or something in the middle there.
Why not?
Right?
Exactly.
Grand Canyon, like go to a national park or something. Why not? Right?
He goes to the Grand Canyon to sit there and goes, okay, let's go. Got to get over to Walt Disney World. All right, 407-413-9395. 407-413-9395. Good calling in and out. Now I'm in the mood for and Jennifer says animal style.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was wanting like a non-Disney thing too. But it looks like Malcolm's daughter was already all over the In and Out. So.
Now Wade's coming in double single with cheese, whole grilled onion and peppers. Best way to do it. That's a lot. That's
I will argue though that like I don't know, like it's fine, but like I'd rather have like a Five Guys burger or something in and Out. But that's just me. But
I can't decide because I had on that same trip I had Whataburger and In and Out, and both of them were awesome. Like. Because I had Whataburger on the way home in the Dallas airport, and that because they had some kind of special ketchup. It was like spicy ketchup or something. That ketchup was so good. I don't even know what it was. But
burgers are just so good. For all the vegetarians out there, I eat your share. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're listening to the wrong podcast.
I apologize. I know we always get like Flame Tree Barbecue as a recommendation, and yeah.
And speaking of Dennis likes it. Dude, have you ever seen his pictures? He's the grill master.
Oh yeah.
No, he can grill it up. He appreciates it. All right, 407-413-9395. Okay, so I was going to ask you that. Here's another question I had, and people can call in and give us this feedback, kind of a this or that kind of thing. And you're an Epcot guy. Your name is Ep Scott.
I mean, yeah, I better like it.
I know. So I was wondering about this. So we're kind of getting to see the Journey of Water thing. It's almost ready for prime time at Epcot. Moana Journey of Water. If you had the option, because you also kind of like pure Epcot, retro Epcot.
Yeah.
If Disney gave you the wand, kind of like this wish wand that's back here in front of Uncle Sam or Sam Eagle here behind me, would you keep that Moana? Because the thing is, I don't know. I don't like to be negative, but I think that thing is kind of underwhelming me for the spot it's in. It's in like prime real estate. It's not like on the outskirts or like the perimeter of Epcot. It is dead in the heart of future. Yeah. I'm still going to call it future.
So I love it. I think the Moana Journey to Water thing is awesome. It looks spectacular. It's in the wrong park. It belongs in Animal Kingdom Park.
I agree. It looks like the entrance to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, it's like an oasis kind of thing. 100%. Like
100%.
Because when you walk through Animal Kingdom, you have the oasis. You kind of walk through an awesome like water feature. You got some animals. You got the anteater off to the side and Divine and all this, and that belongs there. Like somewhere. Don't get rid of the oasis, but like throw it somewhere else in Animal Kingdom Park. That water feature is gorgeous. It's going to be so awesome, but it just belongs in Animal Kingdom. That's the problem.
I understand.
At Epcot.
I kind of understand though what they're doing with it, right? Because they want to have a tie in Future World because they're doing the neighborhoods, right? And this is going to be the tie to the natural world, like the living seas. Yeah. So I get that. I get that connection. I know what they're doing there, but the aesthetics of it scream. It almost looks like something in Pandora, because Pandora has that very organic feel to it,
It's very Animal Kingdom-ish.
It is. I mean, like
I like it. I still like it though. I'm gonna love touring it. Like when I'm on the monorail and I'm like peeking down on it, like on this last trip, like I love looking down at it. Like I'm so excited for it. I'm also excited for the construction walls to be gone. Let's be honest. Like that's a big part of it.
Been there for God, it feels like a decade.
How inviting is that going to be? Just walking through this like spectacular area with the water and like I think it's going to be great. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on this one. That Walt Disney statue is still planning to be built, right? I know it was like at D23. I think
they had it. This plop it. But here's my question: would you rather have that, or would you rather have the Fountain Nations back with like the fountains that do because I love the Fountain Nations.
Oh man, my girl Jocelyn. We know Jocelyn, man. Yeah. That was her jam. Like I never met anyone that loves Fountain Nations more than her.
I liked it too, man. It was just like the heart of Epcot. Like,
and it had like the music too, which was so good.
It's like the mini Bellagio.
Yeah, so as you know me, like music is like so much to me. I'm so passionate about it, and like that's missing in Epcot now. Like the future, like the Interventions background loop, man, I miss that so much. And like I think the park entrance background is kind of weaker now too. Like I would just I wish I could go back 10 years. We're talking about you're talking about the 114 degrees 5 years ago. Like I want the background loops from 5 years ago.
I know.
At Epcot.
And also the fiber optic like sidewalk there, kind of in front of guest relations. Like you know,
but I like a lot of the things they're doing. Like I know you don't care for this as much, but I know like you're you're in the minority here, but like the Guardians coaster is great. I mean, I love
it. It's awesome.
But I loved Ellen, so that's the thing too. I loved Ellen's.
But I know Ellen's was probably like people have the attention span for a 45-minute ride.
You know what I miss, and this needs to be like a what do we miss segment.
Caller, hang tight. We got caller just hanging on. So hang tight.
I don't want to leave.
Go ahead. No, what do you miss though? Because I just want to let them know.
I was gonna say I miss the old test track, man. I really wish we could go back to the dummies.
Yeah, same. Anyway, let's get our caller in here. But I'm with you because that new test track is just I don't know.
And now, especially that you have Tron open and the Magic Kingdom, like, can we just go back to the Crash dummies, like, or World of Motion? I mean, I signed me up for that. I love World of Motion.
And that old music went tick 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 tick.
The pre-show too for test track
was hit like the dummy in the knee. Yeah. That always made me kind of get my eyes.
I only got to do that like once in my life because like I did it on our first trip. And then the next year in 2012 is when it went under refurb. So I only got to do it once. So that's why it like kind of kills me.
Yeah, the old test track was awesome. Anyway, I got to give a bell here to Cynthia for the comment of the night in the chat. Anything is better than construction balls. All right, caller, you have been exceptionally patient as we rambled. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Scott. This is Dennis. How you doing?
Hey, Dennis.
Dennis, sorry about that. You know,
sorry about my little rant there. No,
you can't stop talking. What's going on?
Not much. I'm just firing up the grill and saw that you guys were live and thought I'd call in and tell you so far. I haven't gotten through all your coverage of the cruise on the Wish, but I've enjoyed what I've seen so far.
Good.
Looks like you all had an absolutely amazing time.
We had a blast, and I know you are getting ready to sail the Dream not too long.
Yeah, next year, but I also got the Magic coming up in January.
Oh, that's right.
So
you got the double.
See, Dennis is the cruise. Dennis is my cruise guy for sure.
Yeah, I've had a lot of FOMO this summer, not been able to get out on a vacation, but I can't wait to get back on a ship come January. And I don't have to fly for this one. I could just drive down to Galveston from here in Dallas. So I'm super excited about that.
Have you ever sailed out of Galveston before?
No, this will be my first time. The only repeat ports I've had so far, I've been out of Port Canaveral twice for my first sailing on the Dream and then the Wish. And then I've done Alaska twice out of Vancouver, but then otherwise I got to do San Diego and Miami. So those are the ports I've all been out of.
I'm curious about Galveston because you can get some just deals out of Galveston.
Yeah,
the only thing is occasionally get sucked in by fog down there. Like I've seen that like coming in for ships, but it's kind of rare. But man, you can get if you can sail out of Galveston and you're in the down in Texas, Louisiana. Maybe like Arkansas, anywhere you can drive down there and you can avoid airfare. You can get a cruise cheap and you can avoid airfare. Man, that's a bargain. People need to think about that.
Yeah, and I'll be already halfway there because I've got in-laws in Austin. So just from Dallas down to Austin for a few hours and then a couple hours the morning of the cruise to get from there to Galveston, and then I'll be set. So I'm super excited for that. But I wanted to know what you guys thought of. Did you get into the hyperspace lounge on the Wish? Did you enjoy that?
We did.
Yes,
I was dressed like Captain Jack that night, though, so it was kind of a weird mashup. What'd you think, Scott?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's very small. I felt like I was in Skyline a little bit, and like Dennis, I'm not as crazy Star Wars as you are, so like maybe I didn't know necessarily 100% of all that was happening in there, but I thought it was really cool. Like our server was cool. He was like blowing that, remember Mike, like that vape machine or whatever, and like we were trying to blow the bubble in the air. Like that was kind of fun. And the bourbon drink I had was really good. It was like really like smoky, had the smoky pour to it. The cocktails were awesome, and the environment was sweet. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like a Oga's light. I mean, Oga's obviously is more themed. I mean, it's based in land, so they have more opportunity to do that. I wish it would have had something like a DJ Rex. Like it didn't have an animatronic. Like I think that would have distinguished it above like a Skyline, because it was very similar to Skyline with the big screens behind the bar. In every 5 or 10 minutes, you would go into a different planet or to a different galaxy, and there'd be some kind of an indication. So somebody told us, I forgot who it was. What Jared's wife, I think, was telling us Like something happens, and then that means we're jumping into light speed or something. I didn't get it until she told me that. But yeah, the atmosphere was cool. But I would love to have an animatronic in there. I think they could squeeze that in. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I did Galaxy's Edge for the first time last June when I was in LA for Star Wars Celebration, and we did a couple days in Disneyland. That was the first time I got to go to Galaxy's Edge, and Oga's Cantina was cool. Now I was doing it at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and it felt a little weird having tequila at that time. But
that's the same story for me. I just happened to go in like at 9:15 in the morning. I'm like, well, I got to get a drink, I guess. Like, and I had a tequila drink. I'm like, it's a Tuesday morning at 9:15. What am I doing?
You got to make the best of your opportunities, though, right?
Yeah,
I couldn't get a reservation for it before we went there, and then that morning we just were in the park and we were heading back to Galaxy's Edge, and I pulled open the app and I got into range and it said reservation available now. And I was like, well, this is not exactly how I planned on having breakfast, but why not? So we did it. And then, but with the hyperspace lounge, I think it makes sense for a cruise ship. I think it's a bit more like maybe a Planet Hollywood or something like that. You got various Star Wars artifacts that are around the room, and you're not really there. You're not really supposed to be there for more than 30, 40 minutes, until they want you to leave so they can get other people in there. But I don't know. The one cruise I did on the Wish, we were in there 4 or 5 times. And yes, I am a very, very big Star Wars fan. And I had a great time picking out all the ships and seeing everything that was going on in the background. But I thought it was a fantastic experience.
No, I thought it was fun. I mean, we were there pre-dinner because we were killing time before dinner, because the days before there was a sign that said, it was like you had to, Scott, you had like those, you couldn't just walk in.
Right.
You had to get like a reservation or something. And this night you could just walk in and get a seat. And so a bunch of us got the big table. So we didn't like walk around. We just all ordered drinks and kind of watched the bartenders and watch the stuff behind the bar.
Yeah, it was pretty quick actually for us because we were trying to get the dinner. Yep.
Yeah, we only got like 30 minutes in there, but it was neat.
Yeah, that smoke gun though is something else.
Yeah,
because it's really only intended to be used on about 3 or 4 different drinks, but everyone loves it so much that I think I went in 4 times on my 4-day cruise, and they brought it out for kids and just blow bubble after bubble so they could pop them and have that effect. And it's a crowd pleaser, so why not?
Oh yeah, sure. He got big tips from us because of the bubble gun, because we were trying to keep it up in the air and blowing it around the bar. It was fun.
So not that I like to discuss rumors, and Dennis, I'm going to throw this out to you because I know you're a cruise guy. Have you guys heard this rumor that space on the Treasure might be a haunted mansion bar instead? Because that would be actually kind of sweet.
Going around the other day, and I am all for it. And the other one that I really liked was, and it's got no basis in anything, but I would love to see it happen, is where that Norwegian/Viking lounge they have on the Wish, put it into Indiana Jones lounge there.
That'd make sense.
Yeah.
So Keg and Compass, turn that into
Keg and Compass. Yeah,
that'd make it great. Yeah, because it would still serve the same purpose, because it's kind of that rustic kind of adventure.
Instead of the horn drink that like Steve has, maybe it'll be like in that cup at the end of like Temple of the Last Crusade. That like gives you like the heals power. I don't know enough about Indiana Jones. I shouldn't even be trying to say this, but like that healing cup, that could be like the specialty drink or something in there. Like, I don't know. Just thinking.
That's and then your server has to come out and tells you chose wisely.
Yes, exactly. Dennis, that's awesome. That's the line of the night. Yes. I'd hate to say what happens if I wouldn't be around if they tell me that I chose poorly, because I wouldn't be there anymore. But yeah, that'd be funny if they had a chose poorly drink too. That'd be cool. Yeah. And then I think maybe for the Bayou, substitute Agrabah from Aladdin. That would be my choice for there.
That'd be good. So let me ask you this about the Wish, because we've had this discussion, because you've been on the other ships too. What do you feel about the adult area being where it is compared to like the Fantasy and the Dream? Because I think the more I've thought about this, I prefer the adult area to be back in the back of the ship. You mean like the district, like those lounges and stuff? I like the district being separate, like where you got that long hall and then you have like the tube or Evolution in the back. Because Pam Forrester kind of likes it how it is, like it's out there. But like it felt like during some of the adult shows, like there was family karaoke going like 10 feet away in that little Triton lounge. I don't know Did you feel that same way, or how did you feel? I like the double decker kind of like two-story venue. I don't know.
Okay, so my thoughts on that are kind of complicated, but I've only been on the Dream once, and that was my very first cruise in 2017. I haven't been on the Fantasy yet.
Okay.
And my memory is having that adult district in the back was pretty cool. Now, the smaller ships, the Magic and the Wonder, it's cool having
Like
the
Beach
3
Street.
venues there in the back, and it discourages kids from coming back there. But when I'm on the cruise, my boys are still teenagers, and we end up spending most of our time with them. They aren't into the kids clubs so much. And so it's not something that bothered me too much. For me, the bigger issue is that most of those venues are just small. The Mockingbird Lounge is small. We had the chocolate and liqueur tasting in there when we were on the Wish, and there were only about 16, 20 people could do that, as opposed to the 30 plus that are normally in one of those tastings. And when we tried to get into trivia in some of the lounges, they couldn't accommodate that many people. And so for me, I would like to see them just kind of maybe consolidate those areas so they could get some bigger crowds in those for some of the events. And it's not so hard to necessarily get into some of them. But I don't know. It was fun to be able to take my boys to the Hyperspace Lounge and some of the other places on the ship. So it didn't bother me as much, but I'm hoping that they make some sort of adjustments when the Treasure has its maiden voyage and the set sail.
Good point.
You're spot on with the small areas for sure.
Yeah, those are great points. And I mean, I'm glad Disney Cruise Line is trying things and making things different, because the last thing I want is like 10 exact copies of the same ship. I want different venues, different locations. The Bayou was awesome. Because it reminded me of the District on the Fantasy and the Dream, but it was in a different spot. It was because the District's back in the adult area, but this wasn't. This was kind of in a general area down by the shops. But it was a great venue that they used for many purposes.
But it was always, to Dennis's point, it would become standing room only a lot for trivia. Yeah, people sitting on the floor, like that's not good, Well,
in the smallest area that, in my wife and I just had this conversation last night, was that Triton Lounge that they used. They used it for a lot of stuff. They used it for trivia. They used it for karaoke. They used it for a few other things. The thing was, it was basically just a little bit bigger than kind of a conference room. And what on the Fantasy and the Dream, that would have been stuff that was happening in the D Lounge. And if you've been in the D Lounge on those two ships, it's right off the main atrium, kind of up a level. And if you think about it, that was a kind of a multi-purpose room where it had a stage facing one side, but there was also a mini stage in the back of the room where they could do 2 venues in the same room. But it was a big room that could probably accommodate, I would guess, over 100 people, maybe 125 people.
D-Lounge is huge.
Yeah, it was a good use of a room. I don't know why they moved away from that. I think because they want to have more like coffee bars and stuff on this ship. I don't know, but they tried something. I mean, I don't blame them for that, but I just think they need bigger places to do things, like you said.
Yeah, well, the abundance of places to find coffee was a plus.
Oh, you're a big coffee drinker. Yeah, it was everywhere.
Being able to find it like every deck of the ship was amazing.
That's true. I'm not a coffee guy, so bummer. But hey, we made good use of the Cove when we did our old-fashioned tasting last night. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, I only got up there the one time. My wife was up there as a regular, and she really enjoyed it. But yeah, that, I guess for me, that last bit up there with the Cove and that adult pool and stuff like that could have been a bit bigger, and I would like to have seen that. But overall, I have to say, I was really happy with the Wish. I like the adult entertainment. I like the Pirate Night presentation was superior to anything on any of those ships.
Yep.
And I like you said, it's nice that they've tried to innovate, and now that they've learned some things, I hope they can make some additional adjustments on these other 2 Trident class ships and just make them absolutely superb.
I think they will. I mean, because they're getting feedback all the time, and again, this is the first version of that class of ship, and
that jewelry store on the 3rd deck, man. They could just like cut that in half. I feel like
it's gigantic. Like, and there was never anybody in there. That drove me nuts. Because I'm never gonna buy jewelry like at home. Forget it on a cruise. But that's just me. I'm like, make it a sporting goods store or something, or an Apple store, and I'm now we're talking. I still wouldn't buy it on a cruise though. Like, dude, make that something I can use. It was so big. But yeah.
Well, yeah. Put more of the gear in there that everyone wants to buy.
Yeah,
double the amount of cruise specific merchandise in there, or, whatever the 25th anniversary merchandise that everyone's eager to get right there. That jewelry space, my wife wandered through it, and I was in the bio lounge and I watched her go in there and out of there. And there was nothing that she was going to buy there. And there was no one else in there shopping. I know they only have to make 1 or 2 sales on a cruise in order to make it worthwhile, but it's pointless for the rest of us.
Yeah, it looked enormous. Yeah, I get it. Well, good points, Dennis. We appreciate it. So what are you grilling up tonight?
Oh, tonight it's just simple. I'm doing some sliders. Last night was a very elaborate night of doing tequila lime chicken bowls, and so I'm taking it easy tonight. I've got a bunch of stuff going on tomorrow, so just relaxing this evening.
Awesome.
We're gonna have to come down sometime, Scott.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll set you up.
Awesome.
All right, Dennis. Hey, well, don't be a stranger, man. We really appreciate the call.
Good talking to you guys.
All right, take care, buddy.
Take care.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
All right, and he's got 2 cruises coming up, Magic and the Dream.
I got to get on the Magic and Wonder. I got to.
They're fun ships, and they don't feel small. They do not. Yeah. Even after sailing the Dream and the Fantasy, they don't feel small. The Dream and the Fantasy just feel a bit bigger. We have another call coming in. They're trying to get in that whole time, so I don't think I'm going to give another call back. 801, give us another call back. You'll get in now because Dennis has completed his call. All right, so we're going to get one more call in here before we call it a night. But yeah, cruise talking, that's helping me because I'm missing being on the ships. All right, last call of the night. Hey, who's joining us? Hello, caller.
Hey.
Hello. Who's this?
Hey, this is Michael.
Hey, Michael, what's going on?
Well, normally in Utah.
Oh, yeah. Where are you at tonight?
Well, we've been in Washington State pretty much the whole summer, helping my father-in-law.
Oh, okay. Nice. How are things out there today?
Very warm. Very warm.
Same.
Just mostly called in just to say thank you to both of you and Pam and everyone. And the friends we made on the ship were awesome. And glad we got to know Marlissa a little bit, and Jody and others that I'm going to forget their names. But.
Well, thank you for
saying. We'd love to hear. Yeah, that makes me feel so good.
That's what it's all about, and hope you had a great time. And it was just it went so fast. It felt like we were getting on the ship, and all of a sudden it was over. I think about that. I look forward to it for so long, and then it just goes so stinking fast. I wish we could do it again.
I think Michael said last week a 7-nighter for the next one, and I agree. So
something. It's too short.
So that's about it. It's just I do wish that there was a better way to communicate with the whole group on the ship. Since if they had something in the app where you could set up a group and message within your group or something.
Yeah, I know, because in previous cruises, we had to use these things called wave phones. I don't know if you've ever sailed when they had the wave phones. They actually gave you like an old cordless phone, like the ones you would have in your house. And that's how you communicated. And so the app is an improvement, but you would think there would be a way that you could just do a group text or something like that. But maybe in 2 years, that'll be something we can do, because it doesn't seem that hard. Seems like we could do that. You're right.
But yeah, I know, like if you're like synced up to a group, right? Like, because they have like those message codes that you can get like but you have to like do it like right away when you get on the ship. So everyone has like, their own message code, but it's hard to like communicate what all the codes are to everyone like right off the bat. So yeah, that's good. That's good feedback for Disney Cruise Line. If you could like somehow like link up your group that you're with like automatically before you get on the ship, that would be a really great way to do it. Nice feedback, Michael.
If it would. So gonna start saving up for that 2025 podcast cruise.
Same here. I'm already doing it. One more before Mallory goes to college. That's what I keep telling myself.
Oh man, that would be Emily's. Like she would already be out of. Yeah,
I know. They're
like
getting too
graduation present.
Goes fast. Well, Michael, we appreciate the call and hope everything goes well for you this week.
Yeah, I'm actually headed to Seattle to Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
That'll be fun. That'd be
super over cool. Here, we're the voice of Minnie Mouse will be there. couple of Imagineer, another person who is an animator for Pixar.
Sweet.
It'll be good to hear them talk and again visit with people that have some of the same interests.
Nice. Well, let us know how that goes. Give us a call when you get back from that. I'd love to hear about that.
Okay,
That's awesome.
will do.
All right, Michael, you take care and tell everybody we said hello and stay safe.
Okay, thanks.
All right, good talking to you, my friend.
All right. See you, Michael.
All right, bye.
Had fun cruising with Michael. That was fun.
Absolutely.
And everybody had
Yeah.
fun cruising with everybody.
Yeah.
That's the best thing, man. You make all these friendships, right? Like there's like people that maybe I didn't interact with too much on the cruise because they had like their family. I'm thinking like the Sextons, for instance. Like I think they had like their family with them, but now I interact with them on like Instagram a little bit. You know, it's amazing like what you walk away with after one of these sailings.
I know, because like Teal, speaking of Teal, I was wanting to talk to her about, you know, we're gonna sail together, we're all this, and like their big Jeep, like they have a great Jeep, because she sent me a picture of it, because we got to talk about Jeep somehow, like we're planning the cruise. And I'm like, okay, we got to sit, you know, you have all these plans, right? And then the cruise goes by, we never got to talk about Jeep. I'm like, well, at least she stayed away from Mallory, because Mallory thinks she's gonna have a tricked out Jeep, and she's probably gonna have like an Escort, you know, like a Ford Escort from 1982. Like, yeah, so that's good. Price awesome. Money. That's good stuff. So that is going to do it for tonight's show. We're going to have some good shows this week coming up. We'll have listener questions on Wednesday. I got some. Oh man, we got a great question coming Wednesday, Scott. You'll love this one. So you'll like that. And then Friday, we got to have a good topic show. I don't know what it's going to be though.
Speaking of the podcast cruise, we might have a little surprise with that too. Just a little tease, maybe on Thursday this week, Mike. As this hits the feed, maybe we'll have a little surprise watch party with the group.
Yes. So keep Thursday night open if you can. We might have something here on the feed, a little watch party for a little debut of a little movie for those that sailed with us on the podcast cruise. Scott's been working really hard behind the scenes on something for us. I haven't even seen it myself yet, so can't wait. So we'll put it out on social media when we have our debut, because we're going to kind of talk about it, premiere it, and then we'll watch it together. So watch that, but that'll be coming up this week. But don't forget, shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So check those out. Our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney getaway. Just swing by the magicforless.com, fill out the quote form. You know the details. Put the check-in date, the checkout date, pick a couple of hotels, put the names of the guests who are going to be traveling. I'll put together a held package for you so you can see the details directly from Disney. No obligation. You know, if you don't like what it is, it just expires. No harm, no foul, as they say. But if you like it, we can make modifications till hey, instead of a 7-day ticket, Mike, you're crazy. I need 9-day tickets, or I only need 5 days. We're going to chill at the pool, whatever. We modify it till we get it just right. Then you can put down that fully refundable deposit and you're set. You can start your countdown like Malcolm, like Dennis, like me, 348 days to the fantasy, whatever it is. You can get it, get that real thing going. So just check them out over at themagicforless.com. Please also swing by our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That supports everything we do throughout the year. And a huge thank you to our patrons. You guys make all this possible. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can support us for just $5 a month for all these shows. And you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. This week, I think we're going to talk about water slides around my hometown growing up and how it's amazing I'm still alive, because we went to this place called the Aquajet. And looking back at this place, I can't believe it was legal to have this place built and they let people go down this thing. It was like 5 stories tall. New slides right behind a Wendy's and a Denny's and a gas station, a Shell, at the corner of Lindbergh and New Halls Ferry Road, where I grew up. And we would cut grass or umpires. We get our $7 for the all-day pass and go down this thing. And seriously, there were stories of people dying on this thing all the time. Well, Mike in the Midwest, you got to check it out. That's going to be the Patreon show this week. There were a couple of places, but Aquajet was where you earned your brass tacks if you went down that slide. Anyway, I wish you could have seen this thing, man. I cannot. Looking back, you can tell I'm old because I cannot believe this thing ever existed. And we just went back on that thing. I'm getting scared just thinking about riding that thing right now, because we just did it over and over. So we'll talk about that on patreon.com/beourguestpodcast this week. So sign up if you want to hear that story. All right. Give Scott a follow. Scott on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. Actually, by now it'll probably be X, not Twitter. from what I'm seeing. I don't even know what all that's about. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike on X, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, wherever you want to find me. And we'll have another live show next Sunday night. So give us a call, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram. I mean, no, that's not Instagram. It's Twitch. I don't even know. So we'll get back together. We'll have a good time. So until then, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
Oh man, we never called Ricky.
Oh, dang it. We didn't because we got the calls coming in all of a sudden.
I know.
We should have called her.
I'm tempted to just call her still and be like, hey, she's at the Contemporary, it looks like.
Give me a caller.
You want to just like real quick, just to say, I think she'll really like it if we call her.
Hang on, let me hook. I disconnected the computer because I'm going to record it. Hang on. Let me see.
Is she staying at the Contemporary? Because I've like seen her like hanging out there all day.
I doubt it. They always stay at the free hotel that Brian gets. I mean, it's her birthday though. Hang on, let me see.
That's how I was wondering.
Before we mess around calling her and end up losing the whole show. That's how it goes.
Oh yeah, you better save that. That outro was great though.
What is today? July 23. 3 edited. That's a good show. We got lots of good calls.
Yeah, we got some good calls. Cruising's on everyone's mind lately.
Okay, save. All right. Let me see. So I'll need to call her on Skype. So if I can hear her that's still with us, because we got a lot of people still with us.
Yeah, let's all wish Ricky a happy birthday. The big 4-0.
Let me see.
If she'll answer, she'll see it's coming from you.
Well, she won't be able to tell it's from me because.
Oh, it'll be the 407-413.
Yeah, well, she'll probably know. Where's the keypad? Okay, let me find her number here. Contacts.
I can't believe she never responded to my text.
Yeah, what's up with that? We're gonna ask her about that. Ricky Niblet. All right, let's give this a try here. Okay, let's click on it. Can you hear that?
I hear it, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Ricky. Happy birthday!
Thank you, guys.
You're live right now.
Thank you. I know. I had a feeling. Yes. So I'm actually. Brian got us a room at the Contemporary. So I am walking through the Contemporary grounds right now on my way to Contempo Cafe to pick up a snack, and then we're having dinner tonight at California Grill.
How are you not having dinner at Chef Mickey's?
We had breakfast at Chef Mickey's.
Oh, okay.
So that was Lucy's first character meal, and it went really well. So she got to meet all the characters, and I was so excited because Mickey was her very first character she got to meet. So
you were like fending off the other four, like get back away, Minnie, back away, Goofy. Mickey's got to be first. No, or was it just that's how it happened? Nice.
It was just luck of the draw.
Sweet.
So
yeah, we're kind of stalking you on Find My Friends. I saw that you were walking out of the Magic Kingdom. I saw you were like on the TTA when we started. Then you were leaving the Magic Kingdoms. We were wondering how it feels to be 40.
The baby was done. The baby was done. So how does it feel to be 40?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a grown up. I don't know. I don't really feel like a grown up. I don't think I've ever felt like a grown up.
Yeah, I'm almost 50. I don't feel that way. I feel like a goof.
You're getting some messages though. Kim's in the chat. She says happy birthday. Wade says happy birthday. I'm jealous that you're going to California Grill for your 40th. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we were gonna go to Kona, but that was an earlier reservation. The family wasn't feeling hungry at the time, so since we'd had breakfast at Chef Mickey's, so we're like, okay, we'll just cancel that. And then Brian was looking and he found California Grill today on the app, so he booked it.
You guys are rolling,
we
man.
gotta get
Going to California Grill. Look at that.
California Grill. Look at you guys, man. You used to like sneak
Yes.
in food to the Magic Kingdom. You're going to California Grill.
Yes, we have a date night. Mom is actually staying with us tonight, and she'll be watching Lucy in the room. So
Look at
That
you
part's
guys. Brian and Ricky
I
having
know.
date night. It's like a
That's-
Love Boat
that's-
episode.
it is. It is. So,
Awesome.
but anyway, I'm walking into the main lobby now of the Contemporary. So
Well, enjoy. We just want to wish you happy birthday.
thanks, guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
All right. Well, tell Brian we said hello to. Tell him
I
nice
will.
move on the Contemporary and California Grill.
That was really good. That's
Oh, there.
good.
Yeah, sweet.
That was good. Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good birthday.
Thank you.
Rest
All
of it.
right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Talk to you,
All right,
Ricky.
see you, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's you. California Grill.
I was wondering if she was, because I remember her saying like Brian was like in that group text. She was saying Brian was planning something. Remember?
Yeah,
Like,
but that's
because she's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the plans are. Brian's planning it. He got a room at the Contemporary. Nice work.
They did, man. How about that? Nice. All right. Well, hey, I'm
Awesome.
going to jump.
All right, I'm gonna go eat some dinner. So,
All right. I will talk to you tomorrow night. So just let me know when you're good.
oh yeah, you probably need me tomorrow, don't you?
Okay. She's there.
Hmm?
Yeah, because Ricky's there.
Yeah, that's right. And Pam, I guess, is probably gonna be there. I
I'm
don't
going
know.
to send a text tonight.
Okay, okay.
I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably be home by like 5-ish or so my time.
It's
So
fine.
yeah.
It's whenever. I'll be good.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Tell
All
everybody
right,
said hey.
thanks.
All right.
Bye, everyone.